We had SmackDown on Friday. Now let's talk wrestling. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Danny Man Talks Wrestling. I don't know why I did this, but welcome back to another episode of Danny Man Talks Wrestling with me, your host, Danny Man. I don't know about you guys, but it's getting harder and harder every week to watch Friday Night Smackdown. Like, Monday comes around, and I'm like, hell yeah, it's time to watch Monday Night Raw. And I'm excited about it, and I watch it, and I'm like really interested in watching it, and it's such a fun show. And then when it's over, I'm like, oh man, that went by so fast. I'm so upset that it's over. That's not how Friday Night Smackdown has been going for me. Friday comes around, and I'm like, oh, that's right, I have to watch SmackDown. And then I watch it, and I'm like, okay, this is almost over. And then I look at my clock, and it's been an hour. And there's another hour to go. This is not good. But let's talk about it. All right, so this show opens up with a reminder that WrestlePalooza still sucked. It still sucked. It was better than this. Actually, I don't know if it was. But it still sucked. We then move on to the wise man, the Oracle, Paul Heyman, in the middle of the ring. He even starts off being like, I'm going to steal from Cody Rhodes. What do you guys want to talk about? And he's like, you guys want to talk about Roman Reigns? Everybody boos. And then he mentions another thing, and then everybody boos. Oh, he's Braun Breaker, everybody boos. Talks about the Tribal Thief, and then everybody boos. And then he's like, Brock Lesnar, blah, 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 blah. And then people still booed because we still don't want to talk about it. People cheered OTC. That's what people cheered. And then Cody Rhodes comes out and interrupts him. He's like, I do want to talk about Brock Lesnar, blah, 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 blah. He's like, who are you? Are you the Oracle or are you the Advocate? Blah, 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 blah. And then eventually the Vision comes out. Yay, we all knew this was going to happen. The Vision comes out because he's wrestling Seth Rollins at Crown Jewel for that made-up Crown Jewel championship. The Vision comes out. He starts to beat them up, and then they beat him up, and then they're like double teaming him and stuff, and eventually Randy Orton comes out and saves him, because we all know 100% without a doubt that Randy Orton is going to turn heel against Cody Rhodes. But we got to make people believe that he's not, right? So here we are. And that's the end of that segment. That's it. And then we don't talk about it for the rest of the night. That's it. Cool. Moving on. The first match of the night. Well, before the first match, right? And throughout the night, there are little bits and pieces, right? Where Stephanie Vaquer is there because she's supposed to face the winner of the main event of the triple threat between Tiffy Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax. So throughout the night, she meets up with each and every one of them as they're getting interviewed backstage, right? And it's like, if you win, I got you. We'll fight you, and I'm going to win. Spoiler alert, Tiffy wins. We're not going to even talk about the main event during this episode because I recorded that yesterday because SmackDown made me so tired and upset that I didn't even want to talk about the whole episode yesterday, so I just talked about the main event. So if you want to hear about the main event, that was yesterday's episode. But finish watching this one first. But yeah, so our first match of the night is Mello Don't Miz versus the Street Profits for the number one contendership match. Fun match. I mean, everyone in this match can really go. It was a great match. Man, Mello's a star. Mello is a star, and we really need to just push him better. And I think that's where we're headed, right? Because eventually the Street Profits do win. They pin. I think it's Montez Ford that gets the pin. He pins the Miz in the middle of the ring. After the Miz tags himself in to, Mello's about to close the match out. He's on like the turnbuckle, and the Miz tags himself in to come in. Then Mello gets thrown off the ring. Montez Ford, I think he does this frog splash because that makes the most sense. He does something. Pins the Miz in the middle of the ring. Mello has the opportunity to break the pin, but he's like, Nah. Like, he, like, starts to get in the ring, and he's just like, forget it, and then lets the 1-2-3 happen. And our new number one contenders for this are the Street Profits. So it'll be the Street Profits against the Wyatt Six again. Maybe at Crown Jewel, maybe next week. I don't think they meant. I don't remember if they mentioned when it was. But after the match, the Wyatt Six are suddenly standing and sitting on the commentary desk. It's really funny because Michael Cole's like, "Hey, Booker T," because Booker T's on commentary. "Hey, Booker T, don't look now, but their next opponents are on our desk." Like, it just kind of happened. Like, they didn't see them climbing on the desk and, like, posing as all of this was happening. It's just like, oh, hey, I know you haven't noticed, but there's people standing directly in front of us. And that was weird. Yeah, that was weird, but I like the Wyatt Six, and yeah, I mean, this match is going to be good. Hopefully it ends up with the Street Profits breaking up, because I'm ready for it. Let's just do it. We then get Julia and Kiara James against B-Fab and Michin, because we don't like it when our champion defends her title, I guess. So we got the tag team match. Julia got the pin. Which, like, this isn't gonna build a story. It's not like Michin and B-Fab can be like, hey, we deserve a title shot. You'd lost in a tag team match. So why have the tag team match? WWE, why have a tag team match? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why are you doing this? Just let Julia defend the title. So yeah, Julia and Kiara James won. And now we don't really have a number one contender, so I don't know what the point of all this was. Cool, thanks. No, thank you. Thanks WWE. That was great. Road Dogg. Thank you, Road Dogg. We then get a segment in the back with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and they're like chatting, and then they get confronted by a tag team from NXT that I don't know. I don't really watch NXT like that. Like, I'll watch it every once in a while, but I don't know who this was. Some tag team from NXT is challenging them for the women's tag team championship, and then Alexa's like, you guys aren't gonna win because we have friend energy, and you don't. Just have her join the Wyatt Six already. Just have her join the Wyatt Six. And then we move on to another segment. In the middle of the ring, we have Drew McIntyre come out. And he starts talking about Cody Rhodes, talking about how it makes no sense that he lost that match, because why did the referee step in for his Claymore through the table when it was a perfectly legal move? He's right, by the way. That was a perfectly legal move that should not have been stopped by the referee, but they did. He then gets interrupted by Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is like, blah, 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 blah. The decision is final. The ref's decision is always final. And then Drew keeps going, and then Jacob Fatu comes out and interrupts him for some reason. And they fight. And now Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre are fighting. And they're probably going to have a match at some point. I don't know why, but they are. Listen, I'm glad Jacob Fatu is back. I am. But none of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. I'm hitting things because none of this makes sense. Moving on. We then get the absolute highlight of Friday Night Smackdown. The rest of the show was but the open challenge between Sami Zayn and Javon Evans from NXT was amazing. Man, these two had a hell of a match. Javon Evans is such a breath of fresh air. We need him on the SmackDown roster, and we need him there today. Like, let's call this guy up. Let's put him on the main roster. This guy is so good. And I know if you watch NXT, you know this. Again, I watch it casually. I've seen him before. I know he's good. But just this match he had against Sami Zayn was just incredible, man. Just incredible. We all knew he wasn't going to win. But if you're going to watch anything from Friday Night SmackDown, like, fast forward through the entire show and just watch that one match. The main event is also worth watching, but watch that match for the U.S. title. So good. Sami Zayn wins. Obviously, he retains because I don't know. We're building up the MFTs. Oh, there was an MFT segment at some point also, where he talks about JC Mateo. Cool. That match was awesome. Then we have Damian Priest in the back again, looking for Aleister Black. He runs into Kit Williams again, and apparently Kit's a heel because he doesn't like toxic masculinity. So that makes him a heel. It makes him a heel that he doesn't like that Damian beat him up last week because Damian's angry for no reason, so he beat up whoever was in front of him. And that makes Kit Williams the heel. Is it Williams? I don't know what his last name is. The guy from Pretty Deadly. He's the heel because he got beat up by a guy that was angry for no reason and called him out for it. So now he's the heel. Cool. Damian does a thing and then Pretty Deadly guy gets up to run away and then he trips and then he's like, Damian says something about like, bitches be tripping, I think is what he says. Okay, that's a weird line, I guess. Then he turns around and gets kicked in the face by Aleister Black. So, I think I want Aleister Black to win. I think I do, because the story is stupid. This SmackDown is dumb. I don't like SmackDown right now. Fix it, WWE. Fix it. So they're going to fight at some point, probably. I think they did say that they were going to fight and have like a, I don't know, some sort of, maybe like a no disqualification or something. I don't know when. They might have said when, but I don't know when. See, that's the thing is like, I'm watching SmackDown and it's like, okay, I just have to get through this. And like, I'm not paying super attention to it because it's not good. Then after that, we had the main event, which was an awesome match. Watch the main event. The main event was good. I already talked about it in my previous episode, but like the main event was good. Just the ending was a little wonky. Watch the main event. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, this episode of Friday Night Smackdown was meh. Just like all episodes of Friday Night Smackdown are meh. And I think there just aren't enough good stories in Friday Night Smackdown. So let's do something about it, WWE. Anyway, that was my review for Friday Night Smackdown. It was fine. It wasn't, you know what? It wasn't fine. It was bad. Anyway, that was it. Thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure to drop a like if you finished through. If you watched, make sure to drop a like if you watched this whole episode. It really helps me if you like the episodes. But also, I watched Friday Night Smackdown, so I deserve something for it, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Until next time, peace.